got our own thing. Get up and do my We got our own thing. I'm We got our own thing. 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 We got our own
Everybody, shake your body. We don't ill, we chill at a party, move the groove that's sensual, three-dimensional, unquestionable, beloved is professional. Got a category, my own, and I'm the president. Don't be alarmed, but I'm sewing up the resident with my particular style, particular, extracurricular, smoother and trickier, throwing the lyrics like a throw. Blackjack, you're a chicken McNugget.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Our Own Thing podcast, the platform urban fiction authors and readers call home. This is the first episode of the new year, 2025, and I hope and pray you all transition was just as good as mine was. I'm Sid Green. I'll be quarterbacking this thing for you. And before we get into the show, y'all know what it is. I need all my urban fiction authors and urban fiction authors, my erotica, urban romance, street lit authors, readers, and lovers to help me get the show into the algorithm this year, man. I need 1,000 subscribers, man. And the cool thing about that is it ain't gonna cost you one dime. Just a little of your time, you feel me? Why wouldn't you want to support something that's supporting you? You dig? So y'all take a few seconds now to subscribe, like, share, and comment to help me get the channel active in the algorithm. Appreciate you in advance. But let's get into today's episode, though. Who we got coming through this week? Today we have an author out of Waterbury, Connecticut. He's a college grad, a poet who's been expanding his catalog, building the brand, and we got him here today to discuss his latest novel, A Lonely Married Man. So without further ado, y'all give it up for Derek Jordan. What's happening with you, partner? Thanks for coming through.
No problem, Seth. Anytime. Thank you for inviting me.
Most definitely. Well, I tell all my guests why this platform was created, and that was to bring, some shine, some notoriety to the art form and its authors, right? A relaxed environment where, you all can come through and chop it up with your folks and, let them know what y'all got going on and what to be looking for in the future. You feel me?
Facts. Absolutely.
So I ain't gonna hold you because, the people, they want to hear from you. So introduce yourself to the viewers, let them know your story and what you plan to accomplish in this industry.
My name is Derek Jordan. I'm the author of 4 novels and 2 short stories. I plan on bringing the best to the industry as best as I can. That's the plan. That's the overall plan is for me to quit my day job and be a full-time writer.
How many you got under your belt so far?
Well, it's 4 books. I have A Small World 2, Next of Kin, Drought 1 and 2. Those are short stories of droughts. A Lonely Married Man, and I have a book coming out next month called Reprisal,
right?
Like Vigilante Justice. So
okay, sounded like you're busy then.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I work like full time in this psych ward, man. So sometimes I do 16-hour shifts up there, and we're not allowed to use our phones or anything like that. So it can get a little tight up there unless I do overtime and third shift, So if I do third, I got more flexibility. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you familiar with the show or not, but we do ask a series of questions, you feel me, to get the fans and the viewers, a little in-depth look at who's writing these novels that we love so much, you feel me?
Right. I feel you.
So here's the first question. You've answered, you've written 4 books. Which one of the 4 books is your favorite?
Honestly, the new one that I just wrote, that's being in an edited process right now. But like before that, it was Next of Kin. But like this one that I just wrote, I'm hoping that this book will put me over the top.
That's the one you feel is your best piece of work so far.
Yes, sir.
I got you. How do you select the names of your characters?
Sometimes I just, get like a series of names then I'll start the story just like that. And so as I go along with the story, if I feel like the name doesn't match, I'll just change it in the editing process. Like I had to do with Reprisal. I had to change about 3 names.
Right.
Because I just feel like the name didn't fit the character. So
fit the character.
But as I got to know the characters, that's when I developed the new names for them.
Say they ain't quite fit this particular character.
Nah, they didn't. They didn't.
How do you come up with the titles for this book? How did you come up with the title for this book?
Actually, I was listening to this Phil Collins song.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's on The Feeling in the Air.
Right.
I can feel it. So he said something about a lonely married man, and it just clicked. So it's about the concept. Like I know a lot of people who are married and everything, but they're alone because they're not in love anymore, or maybe that their spouse not giving them any, so just the simple complexities of marriage and everything. So I'm all about concepts,
Okay. Well, I ain't never heard that one. That's one of my favorite Phil Collins songs, though. I ain't never heard that one. Then now, next time I listen to that, I'm gonna have to check for that, though.
Oh yeah, listen to that battle. It's like right in the very beginning. I mean, he just said it like it's not even in bold. Like if it was in the book, it wouldn't even been like bold print. It's just something I just picked up on. You know what I mean? So it just caught me. So and I just ran with it.
How long have you been writing, and when did you start?
I started writing poetry at first in the fall of 1997. My roommate and my homeboy, he's my homeboy to this day. His name is Custodio Gomes. He wrote a lot of poetry, and he kind of inspired me to start writing. So I started writing for the school newspaper, and then it came to a point where Odie and I, well, his nickname is Odie. Odie and I were like, we were like facilitating poetry readings and everything,
right,
on like Wednesday, Tuesday nights. And I've always read books, but I just figured that once I was in school, I didn't really have time to read or whatever. But once I graduated, that's when I started. Like I went like on a reading frenzy,
right?
And I figured if everybody else could put out a story, then why can't I?
True.
Just it's just self-made stuff. I just started reading books on how to write a book and stuff like that. So, and here I am.
What do you do to get inside your character's head?
Sometimes I try to empathize with the characters, no matter if it's clean, grimy, or whatever. You try to have some kind of understanding towards mankind and everything, even if you don't necessarily agree with it. But if you want the characters more authentic, then it's just an exercise that I started doing. I just started putting myself even in the mind of killers. Okay. I'm not a killer, obviously, but you know what I mean? So I just try to like empathize with them, man, on the why did this happen or whatever. So, that's really it. Even women, like sometimes you have to, apply your own personal experiences and stuff like that to these characters, which can really make it more authentic and everything. So that's pretty much it.
Do you have any personal connection to this story or characters?
Yeah. In A Lonely Married Man, the protagonist, his name is Jackson Little, or whatever. So Jackson reminds me of someone that I grew up with. Now, this particular person back in the day was a church-going individual. They go to church on Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Their whole world was just church. You understand what I'm saying? So I just imagine him being like in a strip club. And what would his reaction be if I decided to take this particular and put him in a strip club? So, after that, that's when chaos erupts and everything.
Got a glimpse.
Yeah, you got a glimpse. You know how I go, man. People go to these strip clubs. They think these women, they in love with them and everything. They just want your money, man. But, he took it far, man. So, that's like the really personal connection that I have and everything. Everything else is just like, just writing in the dark when I came up. Yep.
Has writing and publishing a book changed the way you see yourself?
Oh, most definitely. There was a time where you asked me to read a book. I'm like, man, I ain't reading that shit, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm all, I'm real ignorant and everything. My boy, actually, I'm looking at these Donald Goines novels, in the background.
Right.
And like one day, my mom used to put me on punishment and everything. I used to be a little rebellious back in the day. So one day, my boy had this Donald Goines book called Daddy Cool.
Daddy Cool, yeah.
Daddy Cool, the knife throwing dude. So he said, you should read this. I mean, I ain't reading that, man, whatever. So make a long story extremely short, one weekend I was in the house, couldn't go out.
Right.
And I'm looking at that book. I read that book in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So the day I'm like, yo, you got any more of them books? He said, I told you. And then I started like Man Child in the Promised Land. It just became an addiction after that.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones I read too. Donald Goines.
Yeah. Right. I just feel like I have a chance at another career once I'm done with the psych ward, man. Because I've been up there 18 years. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to I think I found my niche and everything. So it definitely changed the way I view myself.
For sure. How did you meet or get the attention of your publisher or start your publishing company?
By getting cursed out.
Cursed out?
Yeah. Well, what I mean by that, you heard of Treasure Blue, right?
Yeah.
That's my dude, man. So when I first wrote A Small World, that was my first novel.
Right.
I went through a self-publishing company called Dog Ear Publishing. Right.
Dog Ear Publishing.
Yep. So, they do all your stuff. They give you your book cover, they typeset, they do the ebook conversion and everything. So Treasure Blue hit me in my inbox, put his number. He said, call me right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I called him, he was like, what the hell is your problem, bro? What you doing? He was like, yo, these dudes, they getting more money off your book than you.
Right.
So he gave me firm talk. And like I said, bro, I'm not no ignorant dude. I listen. You know what I mean? This man's been in the game for a long time. And I thought on it, and I took all my files away from Dog Ear Publishing. Then I started doing everything on my own.
Right.
Like totally cutting out that.
What made you want to tell this particular story, though?
Like I said, just the concept. I just fell in love with the concept. Like I kind of like erotica and things like that. And I just wanted to, because it's a typical story, man. I mean, there's people that's going through that kind of thing right now. Like I said, I just wanted to try my hand at something. It's not like an erotic book or whatever, man, but it's like a lot of sex scenes. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't really classify it as an erotica, but that was the first intention. Right. Was just to try my hand at erotica, but it's not easy writing erotica. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna eat your this, that. It's nothing like that. You got to build up and make your audience imagine on their own by you showing your work instead of just telling a story.
For sure.
Big difference.
What are your favorite scenes in the book?
When Jackson and his friend Apollo went to Cancun, they met a few females out there, and without giving out too much and everything, you know how that go, man. Jackson was
they showed their ass.
So they showed their ass. I'm saying, for real said, they showed their ass, bro. But like I said, that's one of them, without giving up too much. I like a few scenes, man. Even when he meets the white girl, that right there where he displayed how intelligent he really is and everything. And then with the white girl, it was just like I said, man, it's a lot.
Okay. We ain't gonna give away too much. We don't give away too much.
Mm-hmm.
What risks have you taken with your writing that has paid off for you?
Creative risk and public perception, but I go by that James Patterson concept. Like he said something like 1,000 people may not like me, but 1,000,000 others do. That was one of the realest things I heard all year when I heard that.
Yeah.
And that goes with anything. Like there's superstars, basketball, boxing, whatever. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't like Jake Paul. I feel like he's a fluke. He's not fighting any ranked fighters or whatever.
True.
But you can't take away that man's hustle. That man's a millionaire. You know what I mean? So
multi.
He doesn't care what I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just used Tyson to help him fill that arena up. You understand me? So Yeah, you gotta respect his hustle.
You have to respect his hustle, man. You know, can't hate, man. That man, the YouTube specialist, and look where he is now.
True.
You're gonna be there one day.
Looking
You
to
gonna
be there for sure.
Yeah,
I ain't gotta
it's
be
gonna
as big as Jake Paul, but you know, I need it bigger, a little bigger than what it is, most definitely.
happen. I hear you. I give you props for even doing it, man. You know, I get nervous on these kind of things.
What is your writing process like? Are you more of a plotter or a pantser?
A pantser. I used to be a plotter. I used to go by this diagram on how to build your story. Character is going through a natural high, and then there's always a rug slip, a rug pulling.
Right.
You know, where everything goes to hell, but then he has to find his way back up.
Right.
But now that I read that Stephen King on writing, now that book right there, just if I could for a second, I wish I would have got this book years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only book you need is on writing. So in that, what I learned was like when you plot, right? When you plot your story, it may not be what you envision by the time you get in the middle of your story.
Right.
So basically what I do is it's just like driving at nighttime with the lights off. And let's see where it goes. And I gained a lot of success from that reprisal, just like that. Just like that. And I understand where he's coming from. So that's hot. So yeah, I'm more of a pantser now. So
word. What's the name of that book by Stephen King?
On Writing.
On Writing, that's the name of it.
On Writing. Yep. Okay. It's been out for like 20 something years.
Word. Yep. What's the best part about being an author?
I would say the recognition, even if it's like on a local scale for right now. Like my cousin told me when she was on a train in Houston, somebody was reading A Small World.
Right.
You know, that gave me a lot of satisfaction. You know, to me, that's like $1 million. Somebody that's thousands of miles from here is reading your book. I live in Connecticut, so my books, from what I'm hearing, they're in the prison. We're all over, you know, so I'm getting a little recognition from that. You know, when people come up to me and ask me about my experience and my journey and everything, like I said, I still would like to write more, you know, but like my life is just work a shift every day. I do double, so sometimes I got to get it in when I can, you know.
Right.
So,
if you could spend a day with another author, popular author that is, who would you choose?
Kawan Foy is like the Jay-Z of this whole thing.
What's to say the name again? Kawana who?
No, Kawan.
Oh, you Kawan. Okay.
Kawan, yep. Kawan Foy. Ill, man. Like you can't go wrong with those. I even read some of his books over and over and over. His books, the way, like, you know how, like I said earlier, like there's a difference between telling and showing the story.
Yeah.
And show. Like authors like Danielle Still, don't get me wrong. I mean, she's a billionaire. I mean, but her criticism is that she just tells the story.
Right.
That's her style though. But Kawan, I think, in my opinion, and this is just my own humble opinion, I think he's the best writer in any genre because he can show the hell out of a story, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he can, like that's not easy.
Make you see that thing. Mm-hmm. This the final question too, Derek.
Yes, sir.
What does literary success look like to you?
When I could quit my full-time job, full-time author. In a nutshell.
Say bottom line.
Bottom line, man. You know?
Hey, no doubt. I can feel that, brother.
Yep.
Okay, give your fans and the viewers a brief synopsis of A Lonely Married Man.
A Lonely Married Man is about this individual. Him and his wife lost some weight. No, he lost weight. The wife didn't have such success. And then after he lost the weight, he worked it out. Now, you wouldn't even think he was ever big. So the wife feels a certain kind of way because she didn't really have any, there was no change within her. So she was kind of disgusted with herself. So she just stopped having sex with him. And that's when Jackson shows his ass. basically. It's really
Gotta respect that then, baby girl. You feel me?
Absolutely, man.
Shit.
Like he was doing his thing. So it's pretty much shit, man.
There it is. Y'all check out Derek, man, because he definitely got something to say. Yo, we've come to the end of another episode of Our Own Thing. And I'd like to thank my guest, Derek Jordan, for coming through to chop it up with your partner. Hey, yo, share your social media handles with the ones who want to follow you or check out your work, bro.
Well, I mean, I did a few pages on all my books and everything like that or whatever. Just go Derek Jordan, The Small World, Lonely Married Man. Like I'm being honest, I haven't really checked those pages out in a while, but go through my website.
Okay.
www.jordanmp.com. You have access to everything. But once you go into that website, you can go to Amazon, they're on a Kindle. And by the way, I do my own files, I do my own typesetting, I do ebook conversions. The only thing I don't do is book covers. And my man Nav Robbins does the book covers. Give him a shout out. So
word up. Before we get out of here, partner, let them know what you got coming up in the near future.
Reprisal is going to be out next month. Vigilante Justice is just one man's fight against fentanyl dealers and sex trafficking. That's the premise of the entire story. But this particular person, just imagine the movie Taken.
Right.
This one person going around whipping everybody's ass, but you would never think he knew anything. You know what I mean? So I kind of like stuff like that. Oh, and I meant to say too, because Eric Jerome Dickey did say that you should never write about the things that you only know. You write about what interests you. That separates yourself from everybody. Because if you write about things that you're if you write about things that you only know, all your writing is going to sound the same.
Right. True.
You know what I mean? It's going to sound the same. Things that interest you, that makes a big difference.
Should be a little evolution in it. You know what I mean? There you have it. Y'all be on the lookout for that, man. Support the channel when you subscribe, like, and share. Till next time, let's build. One.
Peace. Appreciate you, Ed. One.